Um, I know, I mean, I'm on your Facebook, so I see a lot of activity in terms of your races and so on. You know, tell us how you got started on that end, and how many have you completed so far?
In terms of the races running.
So,
Yeah, so I have always been like very interested into sports since I was a child. When in St. Mary's, I used to be a track and field, like mostly like track runner. So I did participated in 100 meters hurdles and 400 meters, 200 meters. But before I came to US, 400 meters was the longest race I've ever done. I loved, like I had a background of competitive running. So I love that feeling of like being out there and being
right,
running competitively. But when I came to US, that with the goal of finding American dream, I came here in the scholarship. So the whole mindset had changed. And also
right, right,
like when I came to like US, to become an athlete in US is a completely like different thing. Like, my
exactly.
goal was to be a professional, like, be great in academics and finding like, my American dream in US, not through sports, but by academics. So that was my focus. So due to which everything, like I did not like, participate. So my whole sports background have taken rest
Mhm.
until I moved to New York, and I started running a little bit when I started like full-time job, and then like, at everybody else, like full-time job,
But
because life starts getting mundane, like going to work, like coming home, meeting like some of your friends, nothing else more exciting or like besides like work, focus on work. So I started participating in small like charity races, like, that the companies have, and I stopped
right,
liking it. And I think what really changed me into getting into running was my marathon I ran in 2010, which was the Marine Corps marathon in DC. So
okay,
when I did that marathon, I trained with one of our other friends who was really trying to get the Boston qualifier.
Mhm.
And as like, oh, one bucket list kind of thing, I wanted to do that
That's it.
marathon. And then I ran that marathon, and with like a minimal knowledge, I have no idea what I was doing, just like,
Right,
doing whatever, like, people were telling me to do. And then I ran that marathon in 3 hours, 20 minutes, which was like, the Boston qualifier. And
right, right.
yeah. And then I was working for Fidelity Investment at that time. And apparently, like, Boston, I did not even know at that time how Boston Marathon was one of the prestigious marathon. And then, like, there are people like trying for ages to get qualified. And then having to qualify for that race, it was a big deal. So, like,
First,
so that led, now I have to run Boston too. And so it just like, led into one after another. And then like, living in New York City. And one of the things that really inspired me into running marathon is watching the New York City Marathon
Mhm.
in New York City. So I wanted to do that too. So like, from there, it just like started. But I think like the more informed DC Marathon
But
2010 was my like, the breaking into like really getting into the running, like I would say,
first,
interest.
of course. No, that's amazing. You know, your 13-year ko journey, man, like for, serious running ko lagi. Can you believe how far you've come in terms of, getting started, like the number of races, the timings you've achieved and so on. Like, does it surprise you? What do you feel?
Uh, like, the 13 years journey has not been easy. One thing I think back, I could have changed it. Like, so I started running, like, especially like marathon very late, like after 30. That's why I tell everybody it's never too late to start anything you love.
Right.
So that's like, I didn't think that I would keep on running like this
Cool.
long when I started it. I just like, oh,
Right.
like, you're like getting 30, like you wanted to like, uh do something active, like something changing. And one
Right.
after another, like, as I said, like I got into this sports without knowing nothing. Like,
Mm.
like nobody in the family had run, like, been like running into this level or done
Right.
marathon. I had like few friends I knew who have done, but very leisurely, but not like really competitively. So in the journey, I have learned a lot. I have been very lucky to have like, a lot of support from the community, like from my running community. I have come with like, there are a lot of coaches, like elite level coaches and friends
Right.
that I've come into who have helped me to like, really grow into the sports. And then like, experiences itself too.
Mhm.
Well, it
Of
has been,
course.
yeah, so it has been a great learning journey. And the more I get into it, the more I learn about it, and the more I started to love and found out that, oh, this is like something, a passion that I really love. I
Of
did not
course.
know it was my passion when I started it, but now I
Right.
found that, okay, this is something I found for myself.
Awesome. No, Dinsu, I love that you found your passion and you're so, so good at it. And we're all, I think, so, so proud of you. I think, that's a lot of Nepalis already know you, what you do, that we wanted to showcase it for the same reason. I think the passion it doesn't even have to be your career, right? I mean, it can be side to your career and you can do amazingly well. Um,